What? Kate Cavender's on here. Thank goodness she's here.
That's me.
She's a little better looking than you. Sorry, Brent.
That's okay.
All right. We're going to get going in a minute or so here. I will be muting all of you just to make sure. Sorry. Not because I don't like hearing your lovely voices, because we get background noise and stuff, and you can't hear me. I think we fixed my microphone. Well, didn't fix it. Just made a revelation more so. All right. What? I can't do anything about an echo. I don't know about that. Oh yeah, you're in the same. Yeah, well, you're by me, so I don't know what to tell you there, sister. They're all just jealous because they don't live with me, so you should be grateful. What? Swedish fish? Oh, I like Swedish fish. Good stuff. Good stuff. Jelly bellies and Swedish fish can't go wrong. Yeah, or sugar. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna get started. People can join whenever, so I'm not gonna wait too long. Welcome to week 2. We're gonna kick off week 2. My microphone, I think we have it down. I didn't realize the camera I bought, I thought had a microphone with it, but it doesn't. So it's been using my computer microphone, and I don't even have my laptop is like down below closed usually, and I just use double monitors. So we figured it out in our coaches group Zoom like a half hour ago, because I opened my lid like halfway and it works. They can hear me a lot better. So hopefully everyone's able to hear me a lot better. Unless you're Sean, then you're going to get an echo because you're going to hear me live and through the audio. So she gets double voice and twice as loud, I guess. I don't know. The chat, I left the chat open, so if you could leave your microphone off, and then if you have a question or anything, just throw it in the chat, and then we'll go from there, okay? Now, this week, we have several things. We are going to go to the track this week. So stick to your track day, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever day you have is out there. You can see on this, if your group is highlighted at the top in green, your Tuesday. If your group is highlighted up above in yellow, your Thursday. Pretty simple, okay? And everyone has this chart. I emailed it, and it's in Training Tilt all the time as a PDF. All right. What I've highlighted here below on August 22nd, this is the week. This is our work. This is where you're meeting for your long run on Saturday this week. If you weren't aware of that, or you just registered recently, or you didn't go to the first one, we're all not meeting together. Okay. Oh, share my screen. That would really, really help. Yes. Yeah, I know. There we go. A little bit better there. Yep. It's something every time. I'm still learning this thing they call Zoom, even though I've been doing it for 8 weeks now. All right. So this is the screen here. Let me move the rest of that. Okay. So like I said, green is Tuesday, orange is Thursday. So whatever your group, what color it is up above, that's the day I'll see you at the track. 6:30, Perrysburg High School, the new high school. Okay, not the old high school, the old track off 75. You want to be back there off Roachton Road. That's where we'll be. Okay. And then the highlighted yellow is where you're at this weekend with your group for your long run. Right? Now, the good news is next weekend, not the 22nd, but the 29th, we might have a road race. Might. So we're waiting for the city of Bowling Green to give us clearance. So, because I told you we would do events each month if we if we can get them scheduled. So it said that on the registration. I mentioned that in the email. It's just we have to wait until we get closer to these things to see if we can actually do them. So Wood County Health Board has approved the race. Now we're just waiting for the city of Bowling Green. So we're looking to do the Boy Scout again, but only a 5K, 10K. Just because logistically a half mile, it might not work for what the restrictions are put in place. So we're looking at a 5K, 10K. So tentatively, maybe we can pencil that in. I'm hoping. I'd like to get out for a race. And so if we do that, what will happen is when these events pop up, what we do that is that will be our destination that weekend. Doesn't mean you have to go to the race. If you have something else going on, you don't want to race, you don't have to. But as a group, that's where we'll be. So if, like, let's say that happens on August 29th, they have the race. We won't meet for a long run. We'll go to the race. So if you can't go to the race, you can do your long run on your own, or you can do it another time. But we want to go to the race. We want to get in some events since there isn't a marathon we're going to shoot for. And, we're hoping for Churchill's. But again, who knows what's going to be there in November. So if we get a race, I want to take advantage of it. I want to get us out there and get us in a race. Okay? Doesn't matter what distance, 5K, 10K. Well, obviously, as long as it's not a marathon they throw at us in the next week or two, we'll try to get after something. So I'll update you too. I'll know before anyone else knows. So when I know, I'll send it to you. Okay. And that way we'll know, and then we can start planning for it. But that's tentative now. That's for a couple weeks. Not this Saturday. This Saturday, we're still going to meet at those venues. So I will see. Here comes the runs. Here comes the runs at Secor or at Paysetter Park this weekend, because I will be there every weekend. All right. So whenever your group is at Paysetter, you will see my smiling face Saturday morning, and I'll run with you for some of it, all of it, a little bit. But I'll get out there with you some, unless I'm not feeling good. And I haven't been feeling good lately. Heat's killing me. I don't know about you guys. This heat's just wearing me out. Trying to run in this stuff. My pace is like, I'm not doing as many miles. My pace is really hurting. So if you're feeling the same thing, it's hard to get your distance in. It's hard to get that pace going. It's hard to do this, hard to do that out there. Don't worry. We're all in the same boat. The heat eventually just adds up week after week. It has a toll on your body. So don't worry about it. Just do the best you can in it. We'll get through it. Cooler temps will eventually get here. It seems like this week might be a little cooler, so hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. Okay? That's where we're going to meet. So if you're at the track, that's what will be. Remote trainers, you'll be doing the workout still on your own. My remote group, and we'll talk about that too a little later. Because the remote trainers or novice trainers, whomever is using this plan, let's look at those quickly. This is what we're doing this week. We have here, make it look, it's big enough. Okay. Everyone can see that hopefully. This is week 2. So our remote training, or not a remote training group, our novice plan, you have a 5-mile long run this weekend. So we're bumping up 1 mile. Okay. Easy pace, whatever your easy pace is. These aren't supposed to be going hard. Don't turn this into a race. Okay. The time on your feet is what we're looking for here. The distance, nice, easy pace. Okay. The rest of your timed runs, and then you have a fartlek this week. I put an article in the Train Tilts on what is a fartlek. Explains how to run it. It tells you what to do. So if you go into that PDF, your my files, not your files, but the files section, the files I share with you, the PDF, it has an explanation of the fartlek. And if you're unsure of it, just, the minutes you see there, it says fartlek 1, then asterisk 2, asterisk 3, 2, asterisk 2, asterisk 2, asterisk 1. Okay. Those numbers represent the minutes hard. Now, if someone isn't familiar with this schedule, those numbers you see there represent the minutes hard. The asterisk represents the minutes off, which are 1 minute. Okay. So you will run a minute hard, minute easy, 2 minutes hard, 2 minutes, minute easy, 2 minutes hard, minute easy, so on through the whole thing. Okay. Again, I'll reiterate what I said last week. Hard is not a specific pace. Find something that you feel like you're working at, and then also something that you're going to still be able to do without gassing yourself and not being able to finish, or having to walk, or having to slow everything up. Because the minute's up, yes, if there is a, I'll get to that. So when the minute's up, you have to be able to get back to that pace. And on the off minute, you have to be able to run at a decently easy pace. If you have to walk, and I mean if you're not a beginner, because our beginners and that will be walking on these fartleks, or novice people, are ones that are doing walk, run. Some are beginners that are doing it. Some are trained experts. My wife is a trained expert. She knows how to get after it. So she would do the ons at her hard pace, and then the minute off her would be walk. But she has to be able to get back to that minute hard again, like she did for the other ones. Okay. And if you're running them, you want to at least be able to do that somewhat easy. Okay. So don't go crazy on those. They're supposed to be just gradual pickups at a nice hard cadence. And Daniel brought up a good point. Will we already be registered for races if they're up? No, we won't get dumped into a race. I wish we could run these for free, but right now our racing situation is in the red for sure. We most likely won't get discounts. We won't like anything like that. I'm going to see what we can do. He might give us a little bit of a break just because, to get some numbers in there, but they're trying to break even on some of these races because nobody wants to sign up for anything for the worry of it'll get canceled. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. But the breaks on races or the free codes and stuff like that, those are going to be hard and few in between because they have to make their money too. So it just depends. It depends on the race. It depends on the numbers. But we will have to register for them some way or another. Okay? But that's a good question. That is a real good question. Thank you. If you don't have access to the track, yes. Fartleks are perfect for a treadmill because it's minute-based. You can do it anywhere. You do the fartlek on a treadmill. You can do it around your city block. We don't even do the fartleks usually on the track, but for the first couple of weeks we do. Usually we do fartleks on the roads. But yeah, you can do it on a treadmill too. It's all minute-based, so that should be pretty easy. You just got to adjust the speed on the treadmill, obviously. Okay? So that's the novice plan. Our intermediate plan, which is our main plan, which is most of you are doing. We're going up 2 miles to 28. Your long run bumps up a mile. Easy run on Friday bumps up a mile. Monday stays the same. No time trial this week, obviously. We only need it once. If you did not give your coach your time trial times, please do that. I know some of my remote trainers are going to squeeze it in early this week. They ran out of some time. That's fine. They let me know that, so I'm not going to badger them. And the other ones, I can get it out of training until they email me. So make sure your coach has your time. If they didn't see it on training till or something. But this week we're going to hit the track. We're going to do 8x400 and 8x8 or 4x800 and 4x400. So it's 3 minutes or 3 miles, 3 miles. And then it's at threshold pace. And that's where the pace chart comes in. Okay. Again, the pace chart is in your training tilt, in your PDFs, your files. Threshold pace, we're going to go 20 to 30 seconds faster than goal pace for most of you. All right. So if your goal pace is 8:30, might be running these at 8:10 to 8 flat. Okay. So keep that in mind. Coaches will have, those of you who are meeting your coaches on the track, they'll have it all ready to go and it'll get you going. Those of you that are training remotely might not be able to make it. You have the chart here to figure your pace out. Your rest is going to be a minute, so you can get after it on your own too if you need to. Okay, that's all provided. And if you have questions, text your coach, email me, whatever you need to do to make sure you're able to do that. So that's the threshold pace. Okay, in the threshold, I'll put another PDF in Training Tilt that explains threshold training, the point of it, what it's going to do, how it's going to help. I'm not going to go over all of it here because we're on limited time. So take a minute, read it over. If you're curious about threshold pace, I'll drop it in there tonight or tomorrow for sure. And then you have your first tempo, 6 miles, 3 through 5 at your half marathon pace. There won't be any MP because no one's really training for a marathon. So I'll be half marathon pace. So miles 3, 4, and 5 would be tempo. It says 6 miles. So, mile warm up, mile cool down. 6 miles total. Okay, so mile easy. Start your tempo, 3, 4, 5. Mile cool down for mile 6. All right. And again, in the pace chart, you see it right here, half marathon, marathon pace, aka a tempo run. It's basically you're just running your goal pace. So if your goal is to run between 8 and 8:30 for your marathon, try to keep your pace in there. Try to be consistent. People that run really good tempo workouts or marathon, half marathon pace workouts are the people who can run the same mile repeatedly, because that's how you run a half and a full. You don't go blazing out in a 26.2 mile race and hoping to hold on. You start out a little easier usually and keep that pace going. Clipping off that pace is a big deal, the same pace. So when you get after your tempo this week, your half marathon pace run, that's what you want to strive for. Consistent or a little slower at the start and keep running something similar. Okay. Obviously, it's going to be hard to hit the exact number, but you should be within a 5-second range once you get good at this. Once you can find a rhythm, you should be within 5 seconds, like 8 to 8:05 almost every mile. All right. Okay, good. And then our advanced, it's pretty much the intermediate with just a little more mileage here and there. You see your Monday run is a little more, still doing the same amount on the track. Your tempo, you're adding one more tempo mile, so you're actually doing a little bit harder workout there. You're not just doing an extra warm-up or cool-down mile, you're actually doing an extra mile of the workout. So that there is going to be a little more challenging. You're doing 4 miles instead of 3 miles at pace, and then your long run is at 9 miles, okay? So you're doing about 4 more miles this week than the intermediate plan, and one of those miles is part of a workout, okay? So if you have questions about anything, let us know. We'll try to get to it. Okay? Coaches and that too. All right. Now, some other things. Kind of looking at this week, we're going to do a weekly challenge. We're going to start this week, and we have a lot of people still. We need to get going with training tilts. We need to get going on our social groups. So here's what we're going to do. First challenge is going to be simple. And each week, we're going to be scored. It's going to be track style. So there are 10 teams, only 8 placers. It's like a track meet, only top 8 place. It's going to be 10 points for first, 8 for second, 6 for third, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the rest of the way down through 8. Okay? So top 8 teams will score. We'll keep a score for 12 weeks until we get to the end. And we're going to score it each week, and we'll score it by, I know the number in each group. We'll do percentages. That way we don't all get hammered by our Jody's group. If I fell, stop my Garmin. Is that what it is? It's something like that. I think it's if I fell, stop my Garmin. We won't lose weekly to Jody's monster group, Jody, Wendy, and Michelle's monster group of 40 people. So what we're going to do is we'll do percentages. So, if we're all, this week, the challenge is going to be, I'm calling it social butterfly. Everyone needs to sign into their social group. And I'm going to show you how to do that. That way, if a coach needs to pass out information, they can get to their social group. So whoever all signs up into their social group, I will take the amount of people that sign up and divide it by how many people should be in there and get a percentage. So the highest percentage will win. And then so on, second and third. Now, social groups on Training Tilt. I have the bosses up here, Sean Masters, her Training Tilt plan is up here. Now, this right here, you have these little bubbles. Those are the chat, and then the little people standing next to each other over on the left side of the screen. Might be your right. I can't really tell when I'm looking at it. If I go to it, it should pop up social groups, and you'll see them all here. Now, I am All You Need Is Run. That is me, my group. Those are my remote training groups. And I know some of you joined it, and that's okay because that's the name of that's our slogan for this training group. This whole program is All You Need Is Run. So if you're in there, pull yourself out of there if you're not a remote training person. That's with me. And put yourself in your group. They're all here. All you have to do is add yourself. Very simple. You just click on it and you'll add yourself to your pace group. Okay? You can see some have a lot. Like I said, Jody, Wendy, and Michelle's group already have 23 people in it. They know how to work it. So we got stuff to do here. So make sure you get into that social group, because at the end of the week, we will sign in. I will sign in and add up how many people are in it and then divide by the number of people that should be in it. And then we'll score it that way. So that should be easy this week. okay? And since I'm videotaping all of this, then people will get it. Because that's another thing I want to mention. I'm going to move away from emails and sending out all of attachments and things through emails, and they're just going to be on Training Tilt. So videos like from our PTs, documents that are going to start coming out, or other things, they're going to be on Training Tilt. I don't want to do double duty, so I want to email everything and then also put it on Training Tilt. You know, if you don't want to use the training calendar and sync up, that's perfectly fine. But make sure you get registered, have an account so you can get videos off of it. You can get the PDFs off of it. You can get the cool recipes, things like that at least. Okay, if you don't want to use the training calendar and sync your Garmin or Strava to it, that's fine. It's up to you. Now, yeah, and then on the app, if you click on the app, you know, it's easier to do all these things through the web version. If you click on the app, it's only going to bring up the main chat, like everybody's chatting. That gets a little overwhelming, I get it. So go to the web version. If you scroll, if you click on your chat, the 3 bars that bring all the menu options, there is one towards the bottom that says web version, I believe. Click on that and that'll open up a much better, easier way to use it, okay? His app, he's slowly working on making his app better, but it's really early stages, so it's a little harder for him. And if you do need to still sync, you see up here, you go to your name, like I got Sean up here in the top right. If I click on it, and you go not to pro, I think it's under user settings. It goes under user settings. Yeah, let me see. You can go to your preference. That means metric or imperial. Imperial means miles and yards. The king's measurements. But you can see this is where you connect. You cannot connect to both. So you connect to Garmin and Strava. People try to do that. You have to pick one another and connect through that way. Okay. Strava is the easiest. I'm going to let you know that. If you have a Strava account already and your Garmin syncs to it, just use your Strava account. It's pretty simple. Garmin can be tricky depending on which device you have in that. But Garmin works well once it's connected. And you can see Sean has connected her Garmin, so she has hers that way. But you can connect through Strava too. Okay? I just wanted to show you that's where you can do that at. All right. And then a couple other thing I wanted to show you. If I go to her schedule, where I was at before, I'm going to go there. But anyway, once you get your social group, then you can go to the chat button over here, the little bubbles, and your social group will pop up that you're in then. Okay, so if I go to Sean's little bubbles over here on her chat, and I click on the bubbles, word bubbles, her group is here. It's just her group. If I fell, stop my watch. You can see, because in the top right, after your name, it'll show which group you're in. Now, you also have an option where you can show every single post. That's if you want to see everybody's chat. So you can see the other social chats. You just have to click on that. But for yours, you just leave it here, and it's just your group. And that's only the web version, though. It's not the app version. So that's why I'm letting the coaches use GroupMe and Facebook Messenger to get messages out quickly if they need to do that. But this will be like if they want to put out information or updates or things, they can use this. Okay? So that's a good thing to use. Now I'm going to go back to her schedule real quickly and just show you a few other things that maybe I did or I didn't. I'm not quite sure. But make sure, again, sign in the Training Tilt. It'll help you out. Okay? And I do like in the weekly emails, I do like to update with the challenge, the weekly challenge, and put it in the weekly email. So that'll be on there. At least you'll see the score and who won and who did that. And then I'll have the video of this also if you have to miss a meeting ever, a Zoom meeting. This is recorded and you can watch that. But anyway, that was just a little sidebar. We go back to this. You can see the green block. Sean has added different things. She's done evening strength workouts for her afternoon workouts. But you can see there are these little white squares in there that say AN or CN. AN means you, the athlete, have done something with the square. You've saved your sync. You've manually entered. You have done something. So it lets the coaches know that you might have said something, done something in there, and they could decide, do they need to do something? Do they need to look at something? If they respond to you, if there's something needed to respond to, then you might see a CN. That is coach's notes. So that means you know they've said something to you. So it says a CN on there, and your AN means you've synced or you've manually entered something. That's how you know if you've been on it, okay? But you don't have to. And the coaches see you. Those of you that aren't training remotely, that's not really a big necessary tool because you see the coaches and they give you feedback all the time. And so the coaches might not even respond on that to you if they see you, during the week for training because there's no need. They see you for the workouts. So if you go in there, and I'm going to pick on Coach Wendy and Sean, and I'll show you where you'll see it all at. You'll see it here in the comments tab. You click on it. You see Sean said it was tough. It was hot and muggy. But it usually just will say completed as planned, or it'll show your syncing numbers is all it does. And everything else is right here in the analyze part. What happened, how fast, stuff like that. That's just your statistics. And then Wendy responds over here. She said something to her, and then that's where you do it at, okay? Over here in this section, the planned, in the details, in this little box here, is my explanation of what you're doing that day. And that's in all of them. I might just say a midweek distance run. If it's a workout, it'll be broken down, explaining exactly what to do. And so that'll help you out there if you need a little more help with the workout, okay? Especially if you're not going to be there. That'll break it down specifically what to do for the workout. So look at that plan section and look at my box there to explain it if you need that. The other will be under the notes. So the comments, you can see yours and any coaches. Okay? Just want to make sure that was on there. Doing more activity on social group need more points? No, just signing up for it. That's all we need you to do. Responding and chatting back and forth doesn't keep giving you more points. I'm just going to take the people who sign up and divide it by the people who should be there. So all you need to do is join the social group. That's how you get your points for this week. Okay? But that's a good point. All right. Any questions? Because we got a little bit of time left, a few minutes before I break away here. I think we got a lot covered. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. I think you guys did really well. Yeah? Good. If you have specific things you're not sure of, let me know. And I will try to answer them. Oh, thank you. Sean caught that. Okay, good. I was looking at some of your questions. I was just making sure, open the web app version. Good. But if you have no questions this week, one last thing. Before we get out of here, I have a minute to show you this. I'll be able to do it. This is the track setup. So when you come to the track, for those of you coming to the track, you see here, you enter this way, 9:30 to 10-minute group, sub 7 to 8-minute group, 8 to 8:30, 8:30 to 9, and then 9 to 9:30. That's where you will meet. That's where you'll start all of your workout from, and that's where you'll meet your coaches. And you can see the Thursday groups are right after them. Those are the Tuesday groups. Open pace group right here, 10 to 10:30 right there, 10:30 to 11 right there, 11 to 11:30, and 11:30 to 12 over here. And I will have the coaches there with signs. I just want to let you know that. We will have a water table because we have these new spouts we're going to try out. They are contactless spouts, like a pop machine. So if you have a water bottle, I'm not going to have cups. You have to have your water bottle. You can fill it up real quickly and pull it away without touching anything. And we're going to try those out because we might use those at races. Okay? All right. We're going to see you Tuesday, Thursday at the track game. Have a good week. Sign up on that training tilt and that social group. And let's get after it, all right? It's going to be a little cooler, hopefully. Yeah? Yeah? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right. And I'll see my remote trainers. I'll be reaching out to them shortly with a limited email. All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you later.